So the Apple event has just finished and I'm super excited about some of the new products that has been announced. So let's just jump into this. Hello everyone, my name's Mike and here at Tech Carmoon we uncover tech at home and in video. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. But Apple has just dropped a whole bunch of products like the Apple Watch Series 6, the Apple Watch SE, the iPad 8th Gen and the new iPad Air, which is probably the thing that I'm most excited about, as well as that Apple Watch SE. That looks like an interesting product. So they started off the announcement with the Apple Watch and all the things that it has done for people's lives, like for example, saving them. I mean, the beginning part was really inspiring because I didn't realize actually how much the Apple Watch kind of did change people's lives. So it was really interesting to see. Now let's dive into the meat of this, because so far they spoke about basically your blood O2 levels. So this is something that they're currently working on to see how it affects heart disease and lung disease and stuff like that. So they're working with a number of different universities just to really see what impact this has on your health, especially in the long term. Now they mentioned obviously that new Apple Watch Series 6, which has this new sensor that can basically let out infrared and basically be able to detect the color of your blood, and depending on the color of your blood it can actually let the watch know what O2 levels your blood level is at, which is just crazy. I can't believe that in 2020 with everything going on that we're seeing this type of thing. So in terms of that blood sensor, it can measure your blood O2 levels within about 15 seconds, which is very quick for something like this. And it can even do it actually in the background while you're asleep, which is pretty cool. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of alarms and stuff like that it does while you're asleep, because depending on if you're asthmatic or something like that, this could be something that's super useful. Now, the next thing that we see on this is the new S6 Apple Silicon chip, which basically includes things like high performance dual core processor, which is actually meant to be 20% faster than the old one, which is really interesting, because that old watch, the Series 5, was fast enough for pretty much most tasks. So the fact that it's 2 times as fast means only better longevity in the future, especially if you're going to keep this thing for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years plus, maybe even. Now the display stays the same as the Series 5, but you get 2 times brightness, and it also has an Ultima that's always on. So what that means is that depending on the height that you're at, so let's say climbing stairs or climbing a mountain or whatever, it will let you know how high you are from sea level, I believe, and also it can even track it in the background as well, so that you can actually see what your elevation is throughout your journey, really. Now it's obviously got some new face watches as well. So we got this thing, GMT face, a count up face, a chronography face, typography face, memoji faces, stripe faces. Yeah, just pretty cool. It's even got this really cool face which was really good for photographers. So I don't know if you know, but for photographers, golden light hour is normally the best time to shoot, not just for photographers but for videographers as well. So this watch obviously keeps track of, you know, the sunrise and sunsets, so that you can basically go out shooting at the optimal time, which is, yeah, I kind of like that feature. Just to let you guys know, I'm literally filming this straight after the Apple event, so I'm sorry if I'm looking at my phone a lot. I want to get this video out as quickly as I can to you guys, because yeah, it's super exciting, and I know that a lot of you might not want to watch that whole, I think it was like an hour and a half, I generally don't know, but yeah, it was a bit of a long video, really good. Can I just say that the way that it was filmed and edited, and just the direction, I mean the director and the choreographer of that whole video for an hour and 10 minutes, however long it was amazing. It's something that Apple really should get more credit than I probably see in a lot of other videos. Amazing video work, especially from someone who likes the cinematography of videos. This is something that it was just a pleasure to watch. It was never boring at any stage. Now it's also got this new custom band loop, which basically is called the Solo Loop. Now it's got this custom liquid silicone. It's also got this new thing, which is called the braided Solo Loop. And it comes in, 5 colors and a whole bunch of colors. And they've also brought out this new leather link strap as well. Now it'll be interesting to see how the single or solo loop really fits, see how stretchable it is, but it might actually be quite a good idea because especially for fitness and stuff like that, anything that can rub against your skin can end up being irritating. So I think it might be an interesting one. You definitely would have to try this out in the store to get the right size, but they said they've got 8 or 10 different sizes. I'm not quite sure. I didn't actually make a note of that. Poor me. With the Apple Watch, you've now also got this thing called family setup. And the idea behind this is that before you used to have an iPhone for every Apple Watch. Now the issue with that is if you're going to give your Apple Watches to your kids and stuff like that, they might not have an iPhone, or you might not want to give them an iPhone just yet, but you want to be able to track their location, just see how their fitness is and their general health is. Well, the family setup allows you to pair up multiple Apple Watches to your iPhone, which is a nice feature, especially for families who really want to keep an eye on their kids and are sort of, let's say, in that technology world. Now, to go along with the family setup, which is something that we heard about in the rumors, is that Apple Watch SE, and it's actually called Apple Watch SE. Now, this is something that we've seen from Apple. They're really trying to target new customers that maybe don't want to spend the 2x times the price of the normal flagship Apple devices. So this Apple Watch is really interesting because it basically has that same large display, which a lot of rumors kind of got wrong because they were saying that it's going to have the same display as the Series 3 and stuff like that, but no, it's got that larger display. It's also got the S5 chip from what we've seen in the previous model, which is actually 2 times faster than the Series 3, which they're still selling, by the way, at $199. I'll get into pricing in a second. To go along with this new Apple Watch and everything like that, they were talking about going carbon neutral. So right now they've set an aim for 2030 to be 100% carbon neutral, which is very commendable for Apple. I mean, looking after the planet is something that is a little bit dear to my heart, despite the fact that I order a lot of stuff. I do like to recycle all the boxes and all the gear, and I even try and recycle a lot of gear that I do have. But just like the video that I spoke about a few months back regarding the iPhone potentially not having a power charger, well, they're actually saying that this new Apple Watch SE won't come with a power charger either. So it's not got that USB charging. I think for some users might be a little bit disappointed, but I think to get it at that price point, I think it's more of a price point thing than, let's say, a world, recycle, trying to be carbon neutral thing. But yeah, I mean, it could be just Apple's excuse to kind of not include a whole bunch of accessories, save themselves some money, maybe pass on some of the savings to us, but yeah, let's see how that all works out. And the final thing that goes along with the Apple Watches is this thing called Fitness Plus. So this is basically like Apple Music, but for fitness workouts. The idea behind this is that you've got top trainers that basically do these workout videos. You get to watch them, they're updated weekly, and you basically pay every single month to have these new workouts every single week. And they do a whole bunch with or without weights. You can do them absolutely everywhere. So no matter where you are, you can kind of keep up with your fitness regimes and close those rings on your Apple Watch. And this is a monthly charge. This is going to be $9.99 per month, or you can go for a year subscription for $79.99 for 1 year. Now, the new Apple Watches, if you were to buy them, come with 3 months free, which I think is a good idea because you can't really tell after 1 month. You kind of need to do it for a few months, just like with any trainer or workout regime. You can't just do it for 4 weeks and expect changes. You really need to do it for at least 8 to 12 weeks to really notice the difference. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out. I am considering whether I should get that Apple Watch SE, just because it'll be interesting to see if it's actually any good for the money. That SE model, that looks very interesting. Let me know in the description down below if that's something that you want to see. Moving on to this thing called AppleOne. Now, we again heard about this probably about several months ago, that Apple were thinking about combining all of their subscriptions into, well, one subscription. Now, they have done this, and the most interesting one is the individual. They've also got a family pack as well, and they've also got a premier pack. So these come in all sorts of different price points. Most of us will probably go for the individual or the family, depending on obviously our circumstances. And essentially it just provides iCloud, Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, Apple News, Apple Fitness Plus. So all these things are combined into one subscription. So it's really interesting because with Apple News Plus and everything like that, it's something that I've never subscribed to. But if it's all in one payment, it might actually replace a lot of the other subscriptions that I do have going on. And for just one price, it's probably a lot easier for us to handle and see out of our bank statements than obviously 5 different subscriptions coming out of our account. It probably also makes it easier for Apple to take your money as well. Moving on to the iPad. So they announced 2 iPads, the iPad 8th generation and the new iPad Air. The iPad Air we'll get onto because that just looks awesome. Not sure about that price point, but it does look awesome. So the new iPad 8th generation has a new A12 Bionic chip, which is a 6-core CPU and has 4 cores for its GPU. Now, it has about 40% better performance on the CPU side than the previous model, and has about 2 times better GPU performance than the previous model as well. They also compared it to a number of different Windows and Android and Chromebooks. So with the Windows, it was 2 times faster. With the Android, it was 3 times faster than the best-selling Android device, and 6 times faster than the best-selling Chromebooks out there as well. Now, we also see the new neural engine in the iPad for the first time. Now, the iPad Air, before I get into the iPad Air, just let you know that does have a faster neural engine, but we'll get into that in a second. Now, the accessories side, it works with the full-size keyboard. Doesn't work with that new Magic Keyboard, but it also works with other cases and keyboards like from Logitech, as well as the Apple Pencil support as well. The new iPad 8th generation starts at $329 or $299 for education. Whoa! Now that iPad Air looks insane. Like, wow. So they've basically taken the design from the obviously iPad Pro models, and I'm so glad they did, because let's be honest, it looks phenomenal. It comes in 5 new colors as well. It's got this new all display, 10.9 inch display, 2360 by 1640. It has wide P3 color support and has an anti-reflective coating on that glass as well. So for things like photo editing, video editing, this is going to be almost like a, well, what they should have called it is like a iPad Pro Mini or something like that, because this thing is a little bit of a beast. Now, it has this new A14 Bionic chip, which is the first time we've heard about this new A14 chip, and it's based on the new 5nm technology, whereas the A13 previously was based on the 7nm technology. So what this actually means is that it has 11.8 billion transistors, which is 40% more than the 7nm A13 chip. Now, the CPU itself is a 6-core. It has 4 high efficiency cores and 2 power cores, and it's meant to deliver 40% more performance than the previous generation. It's also got 30% better graphics, and just to let you know, the graphics is a 4-core GPU. So we're seeing from the Apple Silicon chip just basically all their resources pulled into this, and they're right. This is one of the best chips that they've made so far. The performance is fantastic, and it only makes me more excited to see how the performance is on these new Apple Silicon Macs. Now, in terms of this neural engine, as I spoke about earlier, it's actually a 16-core neural engine, which allows for a whole bunch of computing. Now, the whole idea is that it has 10 times faster, better performance than the old model in terms of ML multiplication, which is Yeah, just incredible. And they also had this creator from Pixelmator or whatever photo on the iPad, and it used this thing called ML Super Resolution, which just made a pixelated photo almost bearable. And I just couldn't believe how that worked. It brought out all the details, it softened all the edges, and they managed to keep the colors intact. It was something that just blew my mind, and only again just shows how far Apple Silicon has come in 10 years. And this is one of the best, I think. And I think it's one of the best value for money. Again, I think that, just to let you know, the price point is $599, which is shipping next month. And I think that this is a good price. It's not a great price, but with the all new design, I think it is a good price. Now, just to go on about a few other features. So it's got USB-C finally, so matching the iPad Pro, which delivers 10 times faster speeds. We also get a 7 megapixel 1080p 60 frames per second front camera and a 12 megapixel 4K 60 rear camera, which also includes video stabilization for smooth video. We also have new redesigned stereo speakers. So again, matching the iPad Pro. So for those who don't need to really spend that much on an iPad, the iPad Air might be a good starting point for those of you who maybe already have an iPad, an old iPad, and are just looking to step it up. This is probably the model to get. And just to let you know, from the pictures, from what I've seen, it does include a 20-watt USB-C charger. So they haven't rolled it out of this model, but potentially maybe next year they might do. So that's my quick roundup of the new Apple event. Now, they launched some exciting products, and let me know in the description down below if you think I should pick up any of these products. I mean, I'm not really an iPad person or an Apple Watch person, but if you guys want to see it, I'll buy it and try it out and let you guys know what I think of it. Sorry this video was rushed. I literally pressed record as soon as that was over. So I was just super excited just to tell you the news. If I missed anything out, let me know in the description down below. And also let me know what you are most excited about and what features that you are eager to try. If you haven't already, please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TechCarMoon. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. Also, check out these fantastic videos that I handcrafted myself as always. Anyway, everyone, look after yourselves and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.